Hello, everyone. I chose option two for this week's discussion when it came to new employee orientation. I'll just kind of go over some of the questions that I ask in the discussion itself. So, what is the preferred length of orientation and training for a new employee? I would say the preferred length of orientation for a new employee just depends on the role for the person. In my case at Cerner, there have been times when I've gone into a new department and I kind of learn as I go. So it might be just a couple days and then I'm already getting thrown into projects. And, you just, again, you learn as you go. Um, the current role that I'm in now, um, the whole training, the orientation process, I guess the onboarding process, was almost about 6 weeks. And that just kind of included all kinds of like hands-on training, virtual training, classroom training as well. Um, so yeah, it was like 6 weeks until the average person gets acclimated with their role, and then they're kind of on their own. I would say that you need both education and experience when it comes to the roles. Um, some people, when they have the education, they can kind of pick up a little bit more um, with the hands-on stuff, also with the experience. But some people they tend to learn a bit faster, and some people need a little bit more help, which is okay. Um, if they need more help with the training, they could get that extra training and get all caught up to learn their current role. The next question, should training consist of a combination of hands-on, classroom, and virtual elements, in addition to some form of assessment as part of gauging success of outcomes? Excuse me. I would say yes. I believe that training should consist of all three when it comes for that. For example, if you're integrating classroom training with the on-the-job methods, like job shadowing and mentoring, it could create a feedback for loop for improvements. The trainer and the manager can collaboratively discuss areas for improvement as the trainee progresses through the new job of their role and training for the coursework. And the newly learned material can be applied on the job quickly, and questions arising from the job role can be discussed during the next training session. So if you involve the virtual elements, um, then you should be able to get the same outcome as far as success during the training. I know again with my role, I was able to experience all three. Just being in my role a few months here, you get the hands-on training, the classroom, and the virtual at the same time. We would make sure that we would get the hands-on as far as like just seeing how certain processes work, and then we would go back a little bit, do a little bit of classroom training. But again, everything was virtual just because of the pandemic. So yeah, if you can incorporate all three, um, that I feel like that's just going to be the best outcome for new employees trying to get acclimated with their roles. The last question is, should a 6 month performance probation period be considered upon hiring? Um, I kind of agree with this, but I don't think it's a deal breaker. I don't think there should really be like a 6 month probation period itself, but I feel like the new person getting hired should have that in the back of their mind that they're kind of under a microscope as far as when it comes to performance and with that 6 month, but there's also some leeway because you're going to be learning a lot of new processes, coming across a lot of new things, and it's going to take time to get acclimated with your role. Um, I know in my case with 6 months. Um, they kind of expect people to ask more questions, be more hands-on, but around the 6 month mark, you should kind of feel comfortable with your role. Even in one role, they said usually a lot of people don't feel comfortable for almost 1 year. So it just kind of depends on the role and how you're going to get acclimated. But I feel like there are times when things do happen, especially with us being in a pandemic. Um, people are going to get sick, kids will get sick, and as long as you have open communication with your mentor or manager, whoever you report to, um, I feel like that will kind of go a long way. So make sure that you're staying, the communication is going both ways if things do happen, because things, yeah, that's life. Things are going to happen. So as far as the 6 month performance, I feel like there's a little bit of leeway there. But again, that's kind of at Cerner. I'm not sure how everybody else does it, but I know there's a little bit of leeway just with what everything that's going on. And that's all the questions I had. So thank you.